This is Anica speaking. When you have accepted the task before you of taking on the role of expanded humans with an inner sense of your own divinity, we can commence our gradations of encounter with you in a balance where you and we have a basis of understanding. Many of you have decided to accelerate your evolution, your spiritual deep dive into the soul embodied. When you have reached the depth at which what you recognize as yourself is something other than you have always known yourself to be, when the vestiges of what you call your ego, those beliefs that you hold about yourself, which have kept you entrained with certain behaviors, when you break free from these things, you are able then to step into an expanded role for your soul to experience what it is to be alive now on Earth. As the planet itself is expanding in many ways, as the frequency of its heartbeat, the resonance which is palpable when you remove yourself from the hum of modern noise-making machinery. You get away from the city. You turn off your electronics and you go out into nature, and you can feel the episodic emanation of a pulse, which is akin to the heartbeat of the earth itself. This is rising in its frequency, meaning it's going through time at an accelerated rate, as time itself stretches out to envelop the planet and all that is part of its sentient biosphere into a cocoon, so that it can recalibrate itself as a whole organism of which you are part. When this frequency and temporal attunement has reached a state of equilibrium within its own mechanics, you will find that is the point where the shift that you await will be occurring outside of your sensibilities, perhaps. If you are able to remove yourself from the experience of being entrenched within the Earth's momentary phase shift, if you can break away from your idea of transformation being only a death, for what we are describing is more than the death and rebirth transformation. What we are describing is a lateral move, somewhat more of an opening into a new autonomous phase in which the Earth itself can operate in a healthier relationship with the stars and their sentient life forms that are part of its neighborhood. We have experienced this on our worlds, many of those who serve in the League of Light, and we have histories of those times when it has occurred on our planets before our arrival there. what is happening now has happened before elsewhere. And what I want to say to you today is that while you are approaching something that you can feel and sense with your intuition, while you feel that something is coming, be aware that something else is happening within, and uproot yourself for a moment from the idea of time and its linear nature that you have become accustomed to perceiving. If time could be perceived as linear, perhaps what would be helpful for you to imagine is, rather than seeing it going along as a path, see it emanating from the heart of the planet outward, a linearity upon which you are traversing, a continuum that extends out from the heart of the planet, and by extension from the heart of the universe, and from within the divine mind, which is not the embodied deity that many religions have espoused and propounded. The divine mind is the interconnected network of intelligent awareness of being that spans the universe that you have thus far mapped with your technologies. Relax into this awareness of self, which is at a universal level, encompassing all. And you may have a better sense of where you're from, not which planet you're associated with or which starship beckons you. While these are quite useful in achieving an outbound sense of a universal place, and from removing oneself from the cookie cutter reality that has become quite normal in your world, there is more beyond, and we accept this as a truth ourselves. While we may hail from some planetary origin, and we may serve the mission of an awakening humanity from within the realm of interstellar traveling vessels or localities, we know that this is merely a stopping point and something far, far greater, interwoven with an awareness of self that expands beyond the confines of physicality. And physicality is merely an expression of what is truly alive within you, that animates you and gives you form, around which your thought has coalesced into who you see in the mirror. When you at last can step beyond the idea that something is happening and allow yourself to rest within what is, and into the idea of becomingness happening outside of an idea of temporality, you may in some way be encouraging more of a shift to begin. The earth is beckoning you to respond to her innate need to expand herself. The sun, your star, has relaxed its magnetic grip upon the planet to some extent to allow this to happen in a way that is totally self-directed by the sentience of the planet itself. Likewise, your mind can release the grip that it has, which it extends through the magnetics of self-definition and into a spaciousness where what is becoming from within you, from the root of divinity, may express itself in a form and movement that will be more along the lines of what you truly are seeking. A sense of release from a servitude to a concept which has outlived its usefulness, yet which has a few lessons left to teach, if you're clever enough to pay attention and learn what it is saying. Let these words fall upon your mind in a way that alleviates any stress that you may be feeling about needs that you have or that you anticipate having as the structures of power and relationship, the energetics of movement shift upon your world as you watch what you have seen for so long being a bastion of stability and power come to its knees and relinquish itself and its weapons of coercion and violence, as at last these things become outmoded in the face of a divine consciousness awakening unto itself. Be aware of our presence with you in the subtle ways that we can at this point approach, and know that as time folds in upon itself and everything shifts into a greater awareness, that which you are not yet encountering, yet that which you intuit exists and which you yearn for, shall become what you see and what you experience. We are you, and you have chosen to become one people joined in an awareness of self, individuals coming together to shimmer as a force of light, as an emanation of divinity. You've almost found all of the hiding places where love has been sneaking and pushing its way through shadows. The secrets that love carries are infinite. It is true. And if there is a reason for all of creation to exist, it is to experience that and all of its mysteries. As you shift into a greater acceptance of yourselves, and as the obsolescence of war becomes more of a reality upon the lands that have suffered and soaked in so much blood, and as the earth recedes from her position of enslavement to an idea of servitude and being bent to serve a purpose, so may your hearts awaken to a greater purpose, and together as one planet, alive and conscious, will you greet a new day, and we will be there, for we and you are one. It is my wish that these words serve to open some awareness in your heart of something that will lead you into a relationship of intense beauty with yourselves. We of the League of Light await your arrival as you await ours. With one heart, I say, this is Anica, speaking from the League of Light. I bid you peace.